Hey guys, welcome to Woodstock, Illinois. This is otherwise known as Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania from the movie Groundhog Day. This movie was shot about 30 years ago and they're celebrating the 30th anniversary right now. Not the 30th anniversary from when it was released, but when it was filmed. It was released in 1993, so next year will be the 30th anniversary of release. So I'm going to show you some of the filming locations. This right here was the Pennsylvania Hotel, which, if you remember at the beginning of Groundhog Day, Bill Murray said, "I'm not staying here. This is a flea bag. I'm not staying here." And they told him that they booked him a bed and breakfast, which I'll show you in just a little bit. And he said, "Keep the talent happy," which was one of the better lines that was used in the movie. But you'll probably remember this building or the facade of it from those scenes. Now I'll show you as I walk up and down the street a little bit, and I will also share some personal stories on this because I actually was, when I was a kid, on set one of the days that they shot Groundhog Day, and I actually did a little bit of work on the Super Bowl commercial that Bill Murray did a couple years back. So I'll show you where they did some of that stuff and throw in a couple other little stories. But this whole area in Woodstock, a majority of this whole movie was shot. That's pretty cool. It's kind of hard to see with the glare, but going back, that a majority of this movie was shot just within the town square here. So I'll walk around a little bit so you can see. You'll probably recognize some of the buildings. But yeah, this is where a majority of Groundhog Day was shot. Now, if you live in Woodstock or had anything else to do with the movie, please leave a comment because I'd love to hear the stories, and I'm sure viewers would as well. But this store right here on my right, Bill Murray, when he came back to film the commercial, he came in here and spent a good amount of time in here getting out of the cold and having hot chocolate and all that stuff. And there was actually a lot of autograph collectors hanging out outside. Here's one more look at the Pennsylvanian. The Woodstock Opera House. Now, the top of this tower here, if you remember in one scene, Bill Murray jumped off the top of that. Pretty prominently featured in the movie. Now, here on the right was the Tip Top Cafe, which is where Bill Murray went to eat his breakfast. And plenty of different scenes. You saw him stuffing his face with cake, drinking a whole carafe of coffee. All that stuff happened right in here. Now, it's not the same cafe that it used to be. The cafe actually went under a couple years ago, and now this is the name of the restaurant. But the inside doesn't look like it's changed a whole lot, and the outside is still pretty recognizable. But right on the other side of this is something else that you might recognize. Now, I'm sure you remember when Bill Murray stepped off the curb and into the puddle several times. This is where that happened. The sidewalk isn't exactly the way that it was then, and they removed the cobblestone to make that puddle. But this is where he would have stepped off it, although it has changed a little bit since. But this is where the puddle scene happened. Now, this was the Alpine Theater in the movie where Bill Murray said, "I told you, call me Bronco." That happened right out front of here. Now, for the commercial, they were set up right over here on my left-hand side the time that I was helping out. I was helping with a scene that was in the public house on the right-hand side, which is where they did the bar scene when they drank to world peace. That happened just inside here. But this is also where they set up camp on the street right out here on my left. And I'll show you a couple of pictures that were taken that day. Now, just across the way is the square that was Gobblers Knob in the movie, and I'll take you over there to the pavilion in just a bit. But yeah, right here, just to my right, This is where the bar scenes were filmed, and this is where they were doing a lot of hanging out because it was freezing cold when they were filming these commercials, and all the cast and the crew were pretty much hanging out in here waiting for the next scene to be shot. Bill was on set in the morning, and then he left for several hours, and then he came back later in the evening. Now this is what Gobblers Knob was. Now this is where Bill, as Phil Connors, did his weather reports, and this is where they had the Groundhog Festival, and this is where Woodstock has the Groundhog Festivals now. Every year, they have a whole weekend of festivities. Sometimes they bring back cast members, people who worked on the film, occasionally stars. I don't believe, with the exception of the commercial, that Bill Murray's ever come back, but Harold Ramis did a couple times. Stephen Tobolowsky, who played Ned Ryerson, has been back. And this right here is where there was a scene with Bill Murray and Andy McDowell where they were dancing at night. This is where that took place. Now this is the Cherry Tree Inn Bed and Breakfast. This is the place where Bill Murray stayed for the movie. I will take you inside of it here in just a little bit. This is one more shot from the front. This was very prominently featured in the film from the outside. The inside, they didn't actually shoot much inside of here, but they recreated what they liked about this on a soundstage and shot that way. Now, if you're a fan of the movie and you come to Woodstock, this is a great place to stay because the owners are huge fans of the movie. They embrace everything about this town and this film, and they have a lot of memorabilia inside from when the film was shot, and they have great stories in here, so don't hesitate to come and stay here if you come and visit the area. Now, let's go in and I'll show you around a little bit. Now, these were the stairs that Bill Murray would have come down. His room was obviously on the second floor. Now, like I said, a lot of these interior shots were not filmed in this house, but it was designed after it. And obviously, Bill and everybody else from the cast have been in here. Ned Ryerson, Stephen Tobolowsky, when he was here, he stayed in this bed and breakfast. So it's very familiar to everybody who had anything to do with the movie. Because even though they didn't shoot here, they were all here. And this is the room that was designed off of where Bill Murray would have stayed. But a lot of the scenes that were shot out this window. So as soon as Bill Murray was woken up by that famous song, he would look out that window to see that it's the exact same day over and over again. Now, I just thought that it was really cool to get in and see this place because I've never been inside before. I haven't stayed here because I do live not too far away from here. So there was never really a need to stay the night. But I kind of wanted to show you guys just what the filmmakers would have seen when they came in here and just looked around and just took different parts of this and said, okay, this is how we want the bed and breakfast to look for the film. And they did a really good job. But this is a pretty cozy place, and I certainly recommend it for anybody that comes and visits. And it was really nice of them to let people come in and check this place out, because it was a big part of the film. Now this is outside on the deck, taking a look at that famed road, where he said, "Where's everybody going? To Gobblers Knob. It's Groundhog Day." But this is the bed and breakfast. And saving the best scene for last, this is where Bill Murray was walking down the street, and from right over here, he was accosted by his old classmate, Ned Ryerson. And Bill Murray was trying so hard to avoid the insurance selling annoying guy that he ran into every single day. But this is Ned's Corner, and they put up a plaque on the building here that dedicates Ned's Corner. But this is the famous shot where you would hear him say, Phil Connors. This is Ned's Corner. Now, I really hope that you enjoyed this video tour. If you're a fan of the movie Woodstock, Illinois, you have to visit. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.